Avengers Infinity War is only a little bit over a month away, and it's hard for fans to temper their excitement. Just speaking for myself, I watch the Infinity War trailer at least 10 times a day. 2 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 4 at dinner, and 1 for a snack. Speaking of snacks, the new trailer gives us a few more looks at the Mad Titan Thanos, or as I like to call him, Big Daddy T. The trailer provides us with more insight into his motivations for finding all of the Infinity Stones. In the beginning of the trailer, we hear a voiceover by his daughter Gamora. She says that the entire time she knew Thanos, he only had one goal: to wipe out half the universe. According to Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige, Thanos' motivations have been slightly altered from the Infinity Gauntlet comic series that the movie is loosely based on. In the Infinity Gauntlet comic, Thanos wants to wipe out half of the universe's sentient population in order to win the affection of the Mistress Death. He ultimately succeeds, and half of the Marvel universe is wiped out. The new trailer even teases the iconic moment where he wipes out half the universe with a snap of his finger.
If he gets all the Infinity Stones, he can do it with the snap of his fingers. Just like that.
In slight contrast to the comic, Thanos' motivations in the movie are more idealistic. He still appears to be the nihilistic, mass-murdering psychopath that we all know and love, but his motivations come from a place of personal tragedy and destruction. Thanos comes from a world called Titan, which is the first moon of Saturn. Despite Thanos' warnings, the world of Titan was destroyed due to overpopulation. The destruction of his homeworld leads Thanos to believe that all sentient life has overextended its grasp and that he must create a new balance. He says in the trailer that when he's done, half of humanity will still exist. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. It's interesting to note that he says half of humanity will still exist, rather than saying half of humanity will be killed. It's almost like he has a glass half full outlook on his potential galactic genocide. Don't worry guys, when I'm done, half of the people will still be here. That's like 4 billion people, dude, okay? So, chill out. The best line in the trailer to me also comes from Thanos, and it's presumably delivered to Iron Man.
I hope they remember you.
It's funny because he almost sounds sincere when he's delivering this line. There seems to be a vulnerability and code of honor to Thanos. Like, he respects his enemy for fighting honorably and really hopes that people remember him, but he's still going to fucking murder you, so sorry. Co-director of Infinity War, Joe Russo, recently said that Thanos will essentially be the main character of the film, and at times he will even be empathetic. To me, this is great news. For Marvel to position a supervillain as the main character of their biggest film ever is definitely risky, but it's kind of admirable, and it's probably the right move from a storytelling perspective. This story should be told from Thanos' perspective because it's his quest, and his perspective will probably be the most interesting one. This movie is a culmination of every MCU movie that came before it, but for Thanos, it's essentially his life work. With Thanos potentially collecting all of the Infinity Stones by the end of the movie, the entire Marvel universe is being forced to band together, creating the biggest roster of superheroes we've ever seen on a movie screen. The gang is all here. Iron Man, Spider-Man, Cap, Thor, Star-Lord, Doc Strange, Scarlet Witch, Black Panther. You get the gist. No superhero left behind. Except Hawkeye. Where the fuck is Hawkeye? Hawkeye, aka Clint Barton, has been completely absent from the 2 Infinity War trailers. He hasn't been featured in any of the promotional material, and Jeremy Renner's name doesn't even appear on the poster. What the hell is going on? Now, it's hard for me to believe that a studio like Marvel Studios, one of the most tight-lipped and well-organized studios in Hollywood, would simply forget to include one of the OG Avengers in their trailers and promo material. It makes me believe that these are conscious decisions. Everything in the MCU is connected one way or another, and everything in the MCU happens for a reason. It is possible that Hawkeye simply doesn't appear in the movie because there are too many characters. Really, who's going to notice if Hawkeye isn't there anyway? Well, apparently the entire internet. In my opinion, it's more likely that Hawkeye's role in Infinity War is actually a spoiler for the next untitled Avengers movie. Kevin Feige has said that the title for Avengers 4, being released next year, is a spoiler in itself, and it won't be revealed until after Infinity War. Jeremy Renner himself has said Hawkeye is on his own personal journey in Infinity War. Maybe that journey includes spending quality time with his family, but I doubt that they would spend any screen time on that. It's more likely that Hawkeye's journey is connected to Thanos and the Infinity Stones. The Russo brothers have stated that Hawkeye will feature more prominently in Avengers 4, as will Ant-Man, who is also conspicuously missing from the trailers and promo material. Now, let's back it up a bit. The last time we saw Hawkeye was at the tail end of Civil War. He came out of retirement to fight with Captain America during the Sokovia Accords. After being captured by Iron Man, Hawkeye and the other rogue Avengers are sent to the Raft, the Supermax prison that was constantly being name-dropped in Jessica Jones Season 2. We get it, Netflix Marvel. You're a part of the MCU. We're not letting you in. At the end of Civil War, Captain America breaks into the Raft and helps free his fugitive teammates. What happens next is covered in the Infinity War Prelude comic. Hawkeye returns home to his wife and his children, and Ant-Man returns home as well. Captain America, Black Widow, and Falcon go on to form a sort of secret Avengers team. They actually travel to the Middle East to fight terrorists, who are using Chitauri technology. America! So this is the last we see of Clint, at home with his family, still retired. Now, with the events of Infinity War transpiring on several planets, including Earth, the Avengers are going to need all the help they can get. So why not make a call to Hawkeye or Ant-Man? I mean, Hawkeye is just as effective as Black Widow, and she's been seen fighting with the Wakandan army. And not calling in Ant-Man makes absolutely no sense. You can make the case that Ant-Man is the most powerful Avenger. There's a theory going around that Hawkeye and Ant-Man are being hidden because their roles in Infinity War would be a spoiler. People are speculating that they've been sent on a super secret mission by the Avengers. There's one theory that states they were sent to find a hero who has been lost from the world for decades. Marvel's Captain Marvel is set to be released next March, about 2 months prior to Avengers 4. This film has been anticipated by fans for several reasons. It's the first Marvel film with a female lead, and it's also the first female director to helm an MCU film. But now it seems the film is going to be even more important than previously thought. According to Kevin Feige, Captain Marvel is the most powerful hero in the MCU. Now, before you have a sweaty nerd panic attack, this is the MCU, not the comics. With that said, Captain Marvel is the one MCU character who could possibly help them defeat Thanos, the world's strongest villain, meet the world's strongest hero. The problem is, Captain Marvel has gone missing. The MCU is 18 films deep, and Captain Marvel has not been mentioned even once. The first Captain Marvel film is set to take place in the early 1990s, where Carol Danvers will battle against the Skrull army. The Skrulls are an alien race of shapeshifters who have been long embroiled in civil war with the Kree, an alien race that was featured in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Many fans believe that the Captain Marvel film will take its inspiration from the 2008 comic series Secret Invasion, in which the Skrulls attempted to conquer Earth by using their shapeshifting powers to impersonate and replace the different leaders on Earth. There are a lot of theories as to where Captain Marvel has been over the past 2 decades. One theory states that she cannot publicly reveal her involvement in the battle against the Skrull invasion, and that S.H.I.E.L.D. helped her conceal her identity from the public. A big MCU tie-in to the Captain Marvel franchise will be Nick Fury, who will appear as a younger version of himself in the film. Another theory states that Captain Marvel will leave Earth at the end of the movie after her battle with the Skrulls. Captain Marvel is considered to be a prominent cosmic character in the Marvel comics, and she even serves as the sort of cosmic ambassador for Earth. So maybe she went on a couple intergalactic solo adventures and lost track of time. This gives Marvel a perfect opportunity to tell an endless amount of cosmic stories between the time frame of the first Captain Marvel film and the first Iron Man film. There's one more theory that involves time travel. Some fans believe that at the end of the first Captain Marvel film, Carol Danvers will be launched into the future. This would explain why she has been missing for several decades in the MCU timeline. It's possible that the MCU timeline hasn't yet caught up with Captain Marvel, so she's almost in time travel limbo, just waiting to reappear. For us, it's been 10 years. For her, it's the blink of an eye. While she was originally supposed to make her first appearance in Infinity War, all of her scenes were cut. With her first solo film being released only months before Avengers 4, she is positioned to play a major role in the fight against Thanos. If she is actually time traveling, it's possible that she time traveled to the year that Avengers 4 will take place. Quite the coincidence, don't you think? Captain Marvel conveniently shows up right when the Avengers need her. But I don't believe in coincidence. There has to be more to it. What if she is being escorted through time by one of the Avengers? Another interesting MCU tie-in to the Captain Marvel film is the Quantum Realm. First introduced in the Ant-Man movie, the Quantum Realm is defined by the MCU Wikipedia as an alternate dimension, only accessible through magical energy, mystical transportation using a sling ring, or by tremendous subatomic shrinking caused by the Pym particles. Hank Pym was the first official Ant-Man, and in the Ant-Man movie he forbids his successor Scott Lang to enter the Quantum Realm because he believes it's impossible to escape. His wife Janet Van Dyne, the original Wasp, has been trapped in the Quantum Realm for decades, and he believes that she is dead. When Scott Lang proves that it is possible to escape the Quantum Realm, Hank Pym believes his wife could still be alive. It was thought to be scientifically impossible, but Scott Lang escapes the quantum realm after going subatomic to save his daughter from Yellow Jacket. Theoretical physicist Spiros Mikalakis is the scientific consultant who helped craft the quantum realm for the MCU. He describes the quantum realm as a place where time and space converge and dissolve. In a 2017 interview, he confirmed his return to the MCU and his involvement on the Captain Marvel film. Without giving many details, Mikalakis said that the quantum realm will appear in the film, and it will also give a better understanding of Carol Danvers and the role she plays within the MCU. It's speculated that one of the main plots of Ant-Man and the Wasp will have the duo trying to save Janet Van Dyne from the quantum realm. Now that Hank Pym knows it's possible to escape, he's more than likely working on new tech that will make it much easier to travel between the two alternate dimensions. Since the quantum realm is a convergence of space and time, it's believed that it can be used as a mechanism for time travel. A recent quote by Benedict Cumberbatch hints at the possibility of even more alternate universes being explored in future MCU films. Not only did Doctor Strange completely pull back the curtain on the multiverse in the MCU, but it also introduced the power of time travel through the Eye of Agamotto, or the Time Stone. With all that being said, I believe that Hawkeye and Ant-Man were tasked with traveling back in time to bring Captain Marvel to the present day. Being the strongest hero in the MCU, she is probably the only character that can go toe-to-toe with Thanos without any help. I don't think she can defeat him, but she will be a very important ally if Thanos does get all of the Infinity Stones. There's a strong possibility that the Avengers Infinity War movie will end with half of the Marvel Universe dead. Imagine the cliffhanger of Thanos sporting the Infinity Gauntlet, he has all 6 stones, he snaps his fingers, the screen goes black. And then a text comes up and it's like, the Avengers will not return. If they stay faithful to the comics, half of the Marvel heroes will be dead. But some of them will still be alive. That was the case in the Infinity Gauntlet comics. When half of the universe was wiped out, Adam Warlock, Doctor Strange, and Silver Surfer, they rallied the heroes and the villains to fight against Thanos. It was this ragtag group of Avengers and X-Men. I even think they got some of the Justice League in there as well. Desperate times. In the case of the movies, I think the heroes that will be left over are probably some of the B-list heroes. The Ant-Mans, the Hawkeyes, the Nick Furies of the world. The reason I mention Nick Fury is because he is the only person within the MCU that knows about Captain Marvel's existence. But there's a chance that not even Fury knows where she is. If Nick Fury doesn't know where Captain Marvel is currently, then the best way of finding her would be to travel back in time to the early 1990s, the time period where Fury first met Captain Marvel. There are several different ways they can do this. First, the Eye of Agamotto, or the Time Stone. It wouldn't be the first time that the stone is used to defeat an apocalyptic supervillain. Doctor Strange uses the Eye of Agamotto to defeat the interdimensional entity known as Dormammu. He drives Dormammu mad by trapping him in a time loop, and Dormammu ultimately agrees to never invade Earth. From the look of the second Infinity War trailer, Doctor Strange may have lost the Eye of Agamotto to Ebony Maw, one of the members of Thanos' Black Order. So far, we haven't seen any shots of Thanos with the Time Stone in the Infinity Gauntlet, but there's a good chance he's going to get it. I mean, he's Thanos. So that would take that option off the table. The second option is traveling back in time using Pym tech. If Hank Pym is able to develop new tech that allows Ant-Man and the Wasp to travel through the quantum realm, they could possibly use this tech to also manipulate time and space and travel through it. Now, when we take a closer look at the Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer, it looks like Hank Pym may have developed a ship that is capable of going subatomic. So this would be the perfect vessel for traveling in between different dimensions. Thanos would have no knowledge of this tech existing, so it would be the safest way to retrieve Captain Marvel from the past. They could say to her, listen, I know you got some shit going on with the Skrulls trying to save the Earth. We kind of need you to save the entire universe. It also makes sense that Captain Marvel would be involved in time travel in some sort of way because when she appears in Avengers 4, Brie Larson is going to be 29 years old. There's no way she looks that good after 30 years. Of course, they could just explain it as her powers keeping her young. I think that explanation is cheap. This would be a lot cooler. There's another popular fan theory that states the Soul Stone will make its introduction in Captain Marvel. Now, every other Soul Stone prediction has been wrong so far. Oh, it's going to pop up in this movie, that movie. Nope, still not there. It's the only Infinity Stone not yet to appear in the MCU. Many fans thought it would be introduced in Black Panther, and some still believe it's in Wakanda, growing beneath the magical plants that give the Black Panther his power and allow him to briefly visit his ancestors. This could be why Thanos chooses to attack Wakanda, but it's more likely he's trying to get the Mind Stone from Vision. One of the powers associated with the Soul Stone in the comics is the ability to travel into the Soul World. The Soul World exists within the actual stone itself. It's an idyllic world where heroes and antagonists are exiled from reality, all living in a continuous and shared harmony. Like the quantum realm, it's considered an alternate dimension that is extremely hard to leave and to enter. In the comics, the Soul World is mostly associated with Adam Warlock, the artificial being who lives inside of the Soul World. At the beginning of the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, he senses what Thanos has done and he leaves the Soul World to confront him. Accompanied by Pip the Troll and Thanos' daughter Gamora, Adam Warlock assembles a team of Marvel heroes and villains to fight against the Mad Titan. Now, Adam Warlock was introduced in the second Guardians of the Galaxy, appearing in a post-credit scene, but it doesn't look like he's going to play a role in Infinity War. Director James Gunn has even gone as far to say that Warlock might not even appear in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. With Adam Warlock's first appearance still several years away, it could be possible that the Russo brothers have placed Captain Marvel in that Adam Warlock role for Avengers 4. She could be the hero that is trapped inside of the Soul Stone, and through interdimensional travel, Hawkeye and Ant-Man were sent to rescue her. This would also explain why she hasn't aged in 30 years. It's hard to imagine why Marvel would include the Quantum Realm in Captain Marvel if they weren't planning to tie it into Ant-Man and Avengers 4. The precedent for time travel and interdimensional travel has already been set, so I expect it to play a role in the next Avengers movie. Initially, I thought Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel were just filler movies, killing time in between the wait for Avengers 4, but now it seems they are going to answer some very important questions as to the fate of the MCU. So, what do you guys think? Do you think Captain Marvel is stuck inside the Soul Stone, or will she time travel to the future at the end of her movie? And will Ant-Man and Hawkeye be the ones to bring her in the fold? Comment your crazy, wacky theories in the comments below, and that way we can all feel like assholes together when they're proven wrong. Misery loves company. And don't comment like next year when the movies come out and be like, oh, see, you were wrong. I know I was wrong. I know.